Hello everyone and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Whether this is the first time you've ever clicked on to a reading or whether you are a brand new subscriber or have been here for a while, welcome. Today we have an amazing magical reading. We are picking a magical wand, or these are the equivalent of the magical ones that we have today, and we are asking which cosmic messages are meant to find you. So we're just going to get some cosmic messages right out from the cosmos. We're going to bring them right into the reading and get you some magical messages today. So for, as usual, we have 3 piles. So for the first pile we have this beautiful pyramid here. Second pile we have the happy face. And third pile, we have the question mark, which obviously could mean anything. So we've also got some oracle cards here, and there's the same amount of oracle cards from all the same decks, but I put different ones on top of each pile, just in case you needed a little extra help, or you didn't want to go with the icons, you wanted to go in a different direction. So however you choose your pile, whether it's energy, the icons, color, intuition, a little bit of all of them, it's completely and totally up to you. As always, everything here is just sort of, information is up for grabs. If something resonates, that's wonderful. If something doesn't, don't even worry about it. If nothing's resonating, feel free to choose a different pile. Chances are, if you're here, hopefully the messages are for you today. So as long as you are in your own body, grounded and ready to receive some messages, and basically, for the most part, absolutely attuned to your own intuition, then that's the best way to get these messages and make them work for you. So let's go ahead and move these aside and get right into your messages today. So if you chose pile 1 and you chose the pyramid, we're going to... No, you can't see that. Let's put the pyramid right there. So again, this is so your equivalent of the magic wand here, and which cosmic message or messages are meant to find you today. So I thought what would be really fun is that we'd start off with a magic message. So this could be something that could become your mantra, or this is something that is an energy around your reading. We shall see, but we'll get you a little magic message. Okay, you've got the power symbol: cleanse, purify, and protect the physical body. That's you right there. That's your first message from Spirit. So power symbol: cleanse, purify, and protect the physical body. And of course, with the power symbol, you have all the help you need to be able to do that. So we'll start off with Oracle, and we will, of course, move on to Tarot a little later on for clarification and get you some more information. But let's get going on these. So you have protection here too. So double protection here. Protection. The fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon any spiritual work. Okay. And then you've got fire and water dragon, enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. And from the unicorn, you have divine sight and number 7. See the divine in everyone. Wonderful. And then you have 16. Archangel Chamiel here. Life experience. A significant life event. A powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So definitely movement forward. And there's a lot of protection around you right now, pile 1. So whatever your movement forward is significant, because it's almost like a lot of your angels, a lot of your fairies, a lot of your, let's move this, got a little fairy ring in there, which is kind of pretty, but so it seems like everybody's sort of out and about looking after you, which can only mean that your beautiful spirit is embarking upon something bigger and bolder too. Now, for the most part, this is something that you've been working on. It's going to come to fruition in some way or another. And again, these obviously are general readings, so they will be slightly different for each and every one of you. But it feels as though there's been some sort of ups and downs coming into this, whether it's going to happen or how you're going to feel about this coming to coming into fruition, whatever it is that's coming in for you. But really, this is just about the honor of peace, of really coming into this understanding or into this new energy of with this beautiful hindsight that everything's going to be okay. And that's just in the sort of pleasure of releasing without having to control anything or see how it's going to be. So, this seems to be sort of a big, again, this is a big shift, because a lot of you are trying to figure out how it's going to look when you get there, or how it's going to look sort of when you're on the other side of it. So, and we're all, it's a human experience to try and calculate that. So this seems to be somewhat significant. For some of you, it might be a job. Some of you, it's actually physically moving somewhere else. But again, the protection in and around you is sort of double fold at the moment. Not necessarily that you need it, but it's just that all hands are on deck because there's a big shift. Now, for some of you, the shift didn't necessarily happen of your own accord. Something sort of happened and sort of sent this ripple throughout your life. It may not have been through you, it could have been through somebody else, but because that person was sort of close to you, it shifted your life too, and that could have been a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning. But this is also a message, an energy in and around you, that there's a lot of protection while these shifts are going on. And whatever it is, these shifts are for your future. They are clearing out what no longer works for you, whether that's a person, whether that's a situation. Again, no disrespect for anyone that's leaving your life. It's just a matter of how you've decided to move forward and how people are going to support you. So no matter what, things might be sort of falling away a little bit, but either way, you're coming to this point of sort of peace, and not trying to necessarily see how it's going to be on the other side as you get to the other side of this, but also having a lot of faith that it's for the right reasons, that this is going to support you in your life, that you're going to be okay, and that something sort of a large present in a way, it's like gold. It's when you go through this, even if you're having doubts about it, like on the other side of it, you're not even going to be able to recognize yourself. So for those of you who are feeling as though, the shift is going to be great, but you're having a little bit of a hard time trying to organize things, or you're just feeling a little overwhelmed and wondering if it's the right thing to do one way or another, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Just sort of, just really release into that and trust the universe. And for those of you who are having a little bit of issues with trust for the universe because they haven't always been there before, or if it's just an energy that, you want to trust, but, when you're looking back on the past, the other shoe has dropped before, that's perfectly wonderful. Just remember, that's perfectly normal to be where you are. You've got the fire and water dragon, and it's just letting you know that everything that you've been through has been preparing you for this moment, and it's something that you've asked for. So really click into your soul and know that you are absolutely worthy of this. Whatever it is that you've asked for, it's for your highest good. It's going to take you to many different levels and sort of reveal many different things to you, and bring you to sort of a higher way of living in the world, on your own terms. And that's another thing. This is a part of independence. A lot of you have asked for a certain amount of independence, or more independence that you've had, whether that's financial independence or love independence or whatever it is. It could be an amalgam of several different things for many of you. But it's to do with some kind of independence, and it means that you don't want to do it the way that you've done things before. You want things to be different. You want to be freer. You want to be doing what you want to do, and you don't want to have to compromise on that in the way that you felt as though you needed to before. Well, the universe is stepping up, and they're giving you what you want. Now, sometimes it's easy for us to say, well, things are sort of falling apart, so maybe these things aren't going to go so well. And that's perfectly natural to think that way, because sometimes when we've asked for things before they are delivered to us, sort of in this gleaming, beautiful gold light, things do fall away, and it does seem a little bit painful. And sometimes there's just sort of boulders in the way a little bit, trying to figure out, why am I having such a hard time with this all of a sudden? But it's just a matter of working through that. Sometimes when you've asked for something big, it absolutely eventually comes to us, but it comes to us in sort of these dividing moments. So if you're there and you're in this sort of doubtful, I don't know if this is really going to happen, or if this is really for me, why am I having such a difficult time? Then you are coming on the other side of that. This too shall pass. There is this moment of like clicking into it, knowing that you're going to be okay, where you really do sort of release into this. And that's where you're coming to. And with this sort of calm energy, you'll be able to see that, you'll be able to see a little bit further and trust a little bit more in, your brand new beginning, which of course you cannot compare it to anything else without a shadow of a doubt. But again, you've got all of this beautiful hindsight here. You've been working systematically to really move forward in your life and to be very, very clear about what it is that you do want. For some of you, it's about what it is that you don't want. And sometimes that's better to clarify on, because you've had a few almosts and now you want it sort of all, and that's perfectly fine. Also, a lot of you have been motivated by the fact that you realize that this is your time. There's a timing element to this. You feel as though this is your time. You're ready to do this. The year before did this for you. The year before that did something else. And now that you have this sort of like, it's almost like you've got this fire under your butt saying, this is the time, we have to do this. But it's not rushed in any way. And it's not coming out of nowhere. You've been getting all your ducks in a row. You've been doing the work. A lot of you have been doing the spiritual work, the sort of heavy-handed work, that interior work, without having to constantly go into the sort of the darkness mode and constantly bring up old stuff. That's not what we're talking about. But you've been reflecting inwards, realizing that everything that's within is projected out. So this is something that you've been doing, and you've been figuring this out, and you've been healing from for a lot of you, you've been healing for a lot of trauma, or at least identifying where that trauma comes from. So you're no longer sort of working from a trauma angle anymore. So when you see your life, it's a little bit different, right? You can sense that things are a little bit different. Things are easing up for you. And if you're not there yet, it will get there. There's so much protection around you. So whatever's happening in and around you is going to be a really prominent life experience. And that's a wonderful thing. So what have we got here? Yeah, we've got the King of Pentacles moving forward. So it was always about figuring out what it is that you wanted and having faith that whatever it is that you've asked for will be delivered to you. For some of you, it's sort of this delusion of grandeur. Who am I to say that I want this, that, and the other? But who are you not to? So this is about like this action. It's about you taking action, and cosmic action too, because you've been doing the work. A lot of you have been doing the work out in the world before, and like that, it's not that that's not working for you anymore, but it's the inner work. It's the inner perceptions. It's the inner shifts that are going on that are really clarifying what it is that you want, and being able to physically have you see what that looks like when you are on the other side of that and you have this in your life. And also understanding that, and this is kind of a huge one for a lot of you, how you can mix the sort of the earthy and the spiritual sort of together in a way that's practical, in a way that makes you happy, in a way that's in complete alignment with who you are and what you want to do in this world. So for some of you, that's making your living doing what it is that you truly love to do. So, and being clear on that. Yeah, you've got the star. Something beautiful is coming in for you. Something that for some of you, you didn't feel as though, again, the delusions of grandeur, you didn't feel as though you would ever have this. You were wondering if it would ever come true. But this is absolutely the wish card. This is something that you've been working on. And again, this is a sense of divine timing. So a lot of you would feel as though this is sort of kismet. This is time. You can feel it. And also your energy is open to it now. You're ready for this. There's celebration. There's no longer, you're not fighting within yourself trying to figure out if you really want this, if this is something that you really need, or whether you really deserve it. You're just saying, I don't know. And some of you are even saying, I don't even know if I deserve it, but I'm not concentrating on that anymore. That doesn't matter. And that's perfect as long as you take your concentration off what you don't want. Then whatever you do want has the freedom to be delivered to you. So this is a very exciting time for you. And it's, there's power elements here. There's divine masculine elements here too. There's, being known for what you do. This is something that you could move into with a new area if you wanted to. But again, this is something that you've been wanting to do. So, research, whatever research you've done, whatever you've done or imagined in your head has the chance to actually come into full fruition now. So it's up to you to keep your energy high and to remember that you deserve what it is that you've asked for. This protection is here for a reason. The power symbol is there. The star card is there too. And the practical moves that you've been making, again, from the inner to the outer, are absolutely paying off. There's a calm sort of feel to you in a way that you didn't before, whereas before you try to control everything and move everything forward, maybe really pushing into that line of action. And now you're really delivering from the divine feminine aspect too, but also that action is there too, but being very clear about what it is that you want. And if it doesn't show up right away, sometimes you back down on that and say, well, maybe I don't want that then. That's fine if it doesn't want to come to me. But now you're saying it really doesn't matter because you know that you want it. And just because you can't see it in that moment, you're not going to push it away anymore. You're going to stay open and remain open to it and say, you know what, just because I can't imagine it in this very moment, I'm doubting myself. I know it's still there. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to keep my focus there. So keep your focus on what it is that you want and know that it's coming to you. Everything that you're doing is bringing it closer. So just have faith in yourself and keep that energy up. And of course, you have so many angels and so many guides working with you right now. You can absolutely check in with them at any time and see if they have sort of any advice for you, or test them. Where am I? How far away am I for this coming in? Just absolutely test them. Speak to them as if they're there in the room. They're there to help you. And now that you're open, you're receptive. You're ready to receive that information. So this is incredible news for you. Celebrations coming in for sure. Keep that element alive. Keep that celebration alive, and it will be coming into you. This will be coming to you, whatever it is, and that's exciting. Very, very soon. Again, there's no timeline on it per se, but it's sort of in the immediate. It's something that you've been working on, so it's nothing that you have to worry about, and you don't have to worry about when it's coming in. Just sort of, be where you are right now and just allow all the energy in and around to sort of bring you what it is that you want, and just enjoy every moment of your life, and it will come in quicker. So this is what we have for you, Pile 1. Very exciting reading to start off with your cosmic, beautiful, magical messages. We are sending you love and beauty for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Take care until we meet again. Go be you and have these exciting moments. I'm really, really excited for you. Bye-bye. Hello, wonderful Pile 2s. If you chose the happy face, this is your reading. See that there for you, and then you've got the peace symbol on the top. So this is your magical wand, as it were, your happy face. And then we have which cosmic messages are meant to find you. So cosmic magical messages coming in for you today. We will start off with the oracle and move on for a little bit more clarity, or just a little extra information with tarot a little later on. Let's get right into your messages. So you've got transformation. This fairy tells you to surrender to transformation in your life that's happening for the highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Beautiful card there. And then you have the Six of Earth, the Six of Pentacles. Beautiful. Gifts of money, time or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. Wonderful. And then you have laughter, 17. Laughter attracts unicorns. Yes, absolutely. Of course, you have the smiley face too, so that's perfect. And then you have archangels. Gabriel's dragon brings purification. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. Beautiful. So there's an energy of you bringing in messages of some sort. There's definitely a shift for you, a shift and a transformation. But this is about how you articulate yourself. This is how you speak. And this is not a small thing. This is something that actually shifts your life on many different levels, many different layers across the board, from personal life to, work life to all sorts of things. This is something for you. This is something that you've been working on. Sometimes you've doubted, Pal 2, sometimes you've doubted your voice, or doubted, your articulations, however you articulate yourself. You've doubted sort of your truth, for want of a better term. And really, it's not that you doubt your truth. It's just that you see things from every different sort of facet, from every different point of view. So it was really a matter of connecting back into your soul and having that firm foundation of knowing what you stand for. And this is, normally what you've done it sort of the opposite. You've listened to everybody first, and then you've sort of made your decision. Now, there's nothing about you that's a pushover in any way, stretch, or form. Even if you ask people for their opinion, you'll probably usually do your own thing anyway. You've got a very stubborn sort of insert in your mind, but at the same time you like to hear everybody else's sort of versions of it, and then you'll come back and you'll figure things out. Again, based on things that have said, sure, or just based on the energy, but it's always your own decision. But recently you've done the opposite, and this has been really interesting. You've actually sort of not shut out the world. It's not really about that. You sort of closed avenues off that just doesn't feel like you want to go down anymore. And you've really come within yourself, and you've absolutely solidified your own truth, which again is what you stand for, what you want to see in this world, how you want to make the world a better place. Now, that was really important for you to figure out, because when you're clear about what you want to see in the world, then you can become that, right? You can become sort of the antidote to the opposite of what everybody else is doing. But if you're busy listening to everybody else, and you're sort of like, you're not putting yourself front and center, then you were sort of, things were moving, things were shifting, great things were happening, and you were happy, but there was a disconnect from that, because it felt as though, you weren't really part of it. Now, coming back to yourself recently, what you've been doing, which is absolutely incredible, is really articulating to yourself the changes that you want to see in the world, and being really specific. I want to see justice, but I want, and then what does justice mean to you? Not the definition of justice as you look it up. What does it mean to you? How can you do this? How can you work within sort of these systems or break down these systems? And for you, it's very much about sort of articulating the world that you want to see. And, there's a lot of different versions of the world that are going on right now, and some of them you just don't want to be a part of. And that's totally fine. There's still work that's being done that's really, really important. But, you coming out of sort of the greater, the greater viewpoint of everything that's going on, and bringing it right back to you as saying, all right, I know that I can make a difference in the world if I know what it is that I want to see. And that's what you're doing. And by sort of solidifying that, it's really sort of opened up different avenues for you, different ways of seeing the world, and also a new connection for you moving forward. So you can be sort of interconnected into your life, and interconnect everything that you do in your life to make sure that it sort of foreshadows the world that you are trying to create, or that you will create in your own time, on your own space continuum, if that makes any sense, being out there. So it's all about joy too, bringing back that inner child and infusing that inner child. And also this great transformation it's almost like Pal 1 was like very specific about something's going to happen, it's coming in. For you, it's about keeping everything open and knowing that anything brilliant can happen at any moment. And that's been an incredible thing for you. Now, we did this at the beginning of Pal 1, so I want to bring in this energy now. This is magic. So we've got a little bit of extra magic coming in. Now, this could be your mantra or this could be energy that's in and around your reading, but we want to give you this and bring this in for you and see what comes up. So you've got healing, yes, true healing of the mind, body, and soul. Now, this is not a small version of healing that you're going through. This is, again, putting your energy front and center. It's your energy's been sort of whiplash. I feel like everybody's energy's been whiplashed in the last couple of years, but yours has been sort of one way or another, sort of, for a lot of you, much more time than just 2 years, right? Started a long time ago. Again, this essence of putting other people first, or having just being really open to the energies of others. And this is the way in which you're working to very specifically put your energy first. Is really incredible. It's allowing in this new version of healing, which is moving forward this transformation for you, and it's shifting the way that you see the world. It's shifting the way that you see other people. It's shifting the way in which you identify in the world even, and how you move in the world and what you're going to do. It's sort of raising the ante of what it is. So everything that you thought that you were going to do before, you can absolutely do. But now you're sort of free and available to choose even further and even brighter. But this reading is not about necessarily being very clear about what you do want. I mean, it is, but the specifics of it. This is being very clear about the energy that you want around you, you know, the progress that you want to see in the world, and putting your energy into that. And having this really sort of system for healing that you can help other people do too. So, yeah, there's a lot of like... sort of unicorn energy and like fairy energy, but also like this intertwining of your inner child in a way that's sort of, it's not brand new, but it's definitely the focal point here, which is really, really fun, and just sort of allowing things to happen. But this is not a passive reading by any stretch of the imagination. This is a direct energy shift for you. Let's get you some more information, but it changes everything in and around you, again, in all layers, you know, from sort of political to personal to, you know, to love life, to employment. Everything sort of shifts with this. So you've got the Two of Wands, and you've got the Five of Wands here, and you've got the Seven of Wands. Interesting. You've got the Chariot, yep, and you've got Justice. We talked about that before. So this has really been about how you are figuring your energy, how you are in the past, at least, how you were figuring with your energy, how you were protecting your energy, how you wanted to step into doing what you wanted to do, or be the person that you wanted to be in the world and still feel protected, and still feel as though you were safe, and still feel as though you would be appreciated, and still feel as though you would be heard. This is all about you being heard in this lifetime, and this is all about you really solidifying your voice and your truth in this lifetime. Again, very different energy to pile one. But the energy of truth is coming out. And this is something that you've sort of surrendered into a little bit, but this is not passive. This is a lot of fire energy too. This is a lot of passionate energy. And instead of using it sort of against yourself, or using it to protect yourself, which is very needed. It was very needed, of course, but it's also exhausting. You're taking all of that energy and moving it sort of like kinetic energy, and you're moving it forward in this very passionate way, but in this extremely powerful way, which allows you to, again, form the world that you want to see. Now, that world may start in your head. This is what I want to see. These are the changes that I want to see in the world. And this is how I can do this. This is how I can hold space for this. Right. And this is how I can be in my own body, possessing my own truth, no matter what. Right. So it's almost like you've sort of left the competition behind. You've left everything behind. You're saying, I'm not really interested in how everybody else is doing things anymore. I'm just going to do this myself. It's almost like you've kind of gone rogue. But it was important for you to go rogue because, you know, before you've always brought in other people's attention or other people's energy, and not in a way that you didn't trust yourself necessarily. It's just that the version that you had of the world is that you needed to compromise constantly. You needed to bring other people's energies in, listen to everybody, figure out what they need. Yeah, there's an element to that. But if you know who you are and you're working with your own element and your own energy and you're putting that first, then when people come in to your consciousness, that energy comes into your consciousness, then you're more likely to be able to help them a lot quicker because you're much more in tune. So a lot of people do it the way that, and it's very human to do that, take everybody else's opinion, and to be incredibly open. All of that is absolutely wonderful. But this is about you coming back to you and doing things completely differently. And it sounds a little strange to say that you're not cutting off people, you're cutting off the world. It's just that you're cutting out what doesn't work anymore. And a lot of people will say to you, and they probably have, well, that's not realistic because this is going on anyway. Well, it's going on for them because they've created that essence of it. So they're living through it. You're not. So this is a way that you've created. You're absolutely understanding that the foundational building blocks of creating your own world. And then when people come back to you and say, well, this is absolutely happening. For you it is. Yes, absolutely. You've created that world. You put energy into it. That's absolutely happening. But it doesn't mean that you buried your head in the sand by any stretch of the imagination. You haven't. In fact, you have the way to be able to see a lot clearer and a lot further than most. So this is really just about putting your energy that's going to move you forward, putting your energy into whatever is going to move you in the way that you want to be moved, instead of trying to figure out how everything else is going on, and really factoring that there's many different layers and there's many different timelines and there's lots of things that are going on right now, and they're playing out based on how everybody is immersed into this energy. But this is not, again, this is something that you want to do. This is you getting involved, you being very active in the world one way or another, and sort of having this sort of calm energy, but at the same time, sort of shaking things up a little bit and seeing where it goes, almost like picking up the snow globe and really going for it and watching it. But you're doing that sort of with the world. That's what you're ready to do too. You're ready to shake things up. You're ready to see where you go. You're not shaking things up for the hell of it to upset people, not at all. But where there needs to be shaking, you have the mindset to be able to do that. You have the foresight to be able to do that. So this is a way. Now, you don't have to do that physically in the world. A lot of you could be artists, or a lot of you are, writing. However you communicate or articulate your truth is something that's really going to hit home with a lot of people and is absolutely needed now. So this transformation is enabling this version of you to move forward, which is, again, based on many different versions of you from before. Well done. But it is different. It is different, and it is going to produce different results than you've had before. And a lot of this is through joy. Yeah. See, through joy and through sort of ascension, through knowing who you are, through just, literally sort of speaking with spirit, like really having that energetic version of yourself out there, that energetic, beautiful coming together of spirit, and really sort of having that in and around you constantly. This is something that your emotionality, the way in which you work, is very different. And also, you're not apologizing anymore. When you said your truth and somebody said that really upset me, obviously you don't want to upset anyone. But if people were projecting, they would say, oh, that really upset me, or I can't believe you just said that, or what. And it wouldn't have been anything horrible, but you always took everybody else's version of events into account, and that's absolutely beautiful. But like, if somebody's projecting and it constantly happens to you and people are shutting down your truth, then where are you? And that's what you've had to figure out. So in a situation like that, you can you can say, well, I am sorry if I hurt you in any way. I was trying to be as diplomatic as possible. You asked me for the truth. I gave you what I saw. And that's where we are. There's a different way of articulating yourself now and bringing that sort of into the moment where your energy is accountable too. It's held accountable in that conversation, in the room, in the world, and articulated the way that you want to. So you're not second guessing yourself. You're not secondary anymore to the world or other light workers or other things that you're doing or other people or anything. This is nothing to do with the ego. You're not like, first, this is me, F everybody else. It's nothing like that. But this is about you putting your energy first in this brand new way and really incorporating this beautiful transformation coming in. And again, the sinking into this world that you're creating, and practically and physically too. You're not just sitting there going, oh, I just want sunflowers everywhere. You'll go out and plant them. And this is all to do with justice. This is all to do with pulling down these old narratives and moving forward in this way that needs to happen. And you do have the energy to do that. You do have the foresight to do that. So this is your time. There's also a divine timing element to this, and you can feel it. So this is absolutely incredible. You have everything that you need to move forward. Again, keep that joy, keep that inner laughter, keep that beautiful, sweet inner child integrated, and keep that energy up with your joy. And just really allowing that healing. So put your energy first at all times. And then this transformation will take forward and bless you in ways that you could not have seen. So moving forward, things will be more situations, better situations moving forward will be available for you. So just hang on in there no matter where you are. This is old stuff sort of fighting away and trying to fight for your version of things, or seeing things, or trying to immerse yourself in everybody else's version of things and still trying to find out who you are. All of that has left you now. This is all about where you are and how you're moving forward. So for a lot of you, there's shifts in career, in love, moving forward again. In this new beautiful way that you can't necessarily predict, but it's all upwards and better. So again, as we said, in multiple layers, different ways, love, employment, what you want to do for a living, again, financials, definitely financially. All of this will be shifting for you in ways, and all you need to do is keep your level and energy high and trust in this path that you have chosen. All right, beautiful pile twos, that's what we have for you, sending you so much love, appreciation, and beauty for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Go be you, enjoy this energy in and around you, and enjoy this magic, this cosmic energy until we meet again. Take care. Okay, bye-bye. Gorgeous pile threes. If you chose, well, this is your pick a magical wand. This is your wand, as it were, and it's question mark beautiful. It could be absolutely anything, and the top of this is a sun, which we love here. So which cosmic messages or messages are meant to find you? So a magical cosmic reading we have today. We will start off with your oracle and move on for some more clarity and some extra advice with tarot a little later on. Let's get right in to your beautiful reading. You've got air and fire dragon. Expands your creative energies, harnesses your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. Beautiful. And then you've got wait for winter. During the colder months, the fairy Queen of Winter will help you manifest your more heartfelt wishes, as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. And then you have strength, Archangel Ariel. Oops. And your card has just gone a little bit woo-woo, and we will very awkwardly pick it up. I love that. Okay, let's get you back centered here. I'm all over the place. All right, so you have Archangel Ariel for strength here. And number 11, 2, great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. Let's have a little look there. And then your last, the one that went woo-woo, is King of the Unicorns. Wonderful. You are blessed with majesty, vision, and power. gorgeousness here. So this is sort of a power reading for each and every one of you, one way or another. This is about you bringing your passion into something. And going for something. It can feel as though for sort of a different energy to pile one, but this is similar in some ways, I suppose. This is about divine timing for you. Something that, again, with pile one, something that you've wanted and now you are ready to absolutely go for. It requires a vast amount of courage on your end, because this is something that you've always wanted. But the thing is that we want to point out here, pile 3, you've always wanted it because you knew that you could do it. This is sort of a dream for a lot of you since childhood, one way or another. So if this has been a dream for this long, then it means that it's within you to do. Most kids, when they have these dreams, they want to be this and they want to be that, and they grow out of it and they do that. That's perfectly natural. But this is something that you've always wanted to do. Now, for some of you, it could be, I've always wanted to live in Italy, or I've always wanted to do this one thing. I've always wanted to live in this one place. Whatever it is that you are getting ready to be able to do this, and you are feeling the divine timing, you're like, I'm absolutely going to do this. And it's coming in and around you. Now, for those of you where it's something like, again, I want to live in Italy. I've never been there before. I'm feeling a calling to that particular part of the world, and you're thinking to yourself, it doesn't feel like it's that big, so I want to live in one place, It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it's something huge. It's actually connected to something much bigger. So whatever it is that each and every one of you, and again, of course, this is a general reading, so it's going to be different for each and every one of you. Whatever it is that you are thinking that you want to do, the divine timing element is there, and you have the strength to be able to do it. And one way or another, you decided that you wanted to do this much, for some of you, since you were children, like all the way back. And every single thing that you've been doing in your life has taken you to this point. Now, you could look back on your life and go, well, I did this, or I messed up that, I did that. There's no way that because I have this particular experience, it's going to bring me closer to my goal. And actually, that's inaccurate in some ways, because everything that you've done has brought you to this moment and brought you to the person that you are. And now you're ready to actually look at yourself and say, I am worthy of everything that I want. Right? And this is all about worthiness, not about actual worthiness. This is about you understanding that you're worthy. It shifts everything, and it allows you the strength to be able to see that you deserve what it is that you've asked for. And again, each and every one of you, it'll be slightly different. But even if it's something that's like, okay, if I go live somewhere else, it's kind of a big deal, but it's going to shift your life in many different ways. As we said in Pile 2, it's going to shift your life. It's in every layer, from what you do for a living to who you meet to who you hang out with. It's going to shift your life in every single way. So these are big transformations, and this is something that you've been waiting for. This is something that you've been working on. This is something that sometimes has been sort of on the sort of the byline. It's there, but you're not actively working toward it, or so you thought. It's something that at times has been sort of hidden from you. At times you didn't think that you were going to be able to get it or do it, or at times it really wasn't seemingly on your mind. But either way, it's always had a sort of a backdrop. It's been the backdrop of your life. And this is all about making your dreams come true. Now, for some of you, it's something specific, like doing what you want to do for a living, or whatever it is. Each and every one of you will be slightly different. And no matter how you see it, whether it's a big deal or not, it's a big deal to your soul. This is something that you absolutely want. So this is what we did for Pile 1 and 2 at different times. So this is a little extra magical message here. So let's, oh, that just popped out. Okay. So we have Owen. 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. That's beautiful. That popped out. Let's get you another one. So these are just either a mantra or give you a little extra information about what's going on, the energy that's in and around you. Yeah, time to shine. Creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. That's it for you. I mean, this is wonderful too. This is the energy that's getting you to there, but this is your time to shine. And each and every one of you will be able to feel it in a different way again. And this is not about necessarily being active about, I'm going to shine when I get this one thing, or when I move to Italy, or whatever it is. It's not it. This is like stepping into this energetic resonance of knowing that you're shining in every moment and that you've absolutely got this. You've got the King of Unicorns here too. You've got a lot of like 1111s and 222s in and around you also. Like there's a lot of this guidance in and around you that's supporting you at this time. This happened in Pile 1. And they had a hell of a lot of protection. Now, it's not that you need the protection, something bad's going to happen or anything like that. Not at all. It's actually the opposite. So it's really about more protection coming in and around you to protect you or keep you safe, and also to give you that extra layer of support as you're going through this transformation. So when your guides are out in and around you at this time in the way that they are, solidifying this sort of like wall of gratitude all around you, it just means that they're getting ready for this transformation that you're going through. And again, this may not necessarily feel as though in the past when you've gone through ascension or you've gone through transformation, you've had a lot of ups and downs and you felt it. You felt every wind in the road and this, that, and the other. This is a lot more peaceful. This is sort of like waking up and feeling sort of aligned and understanding. You're just taking things, taking a step back, trusting, surrendering. This is a very, very different energy. This sort of level of calm for some of you could even freak you out a little bit, because it's not that you're not calm. You can really get into that calm state, but it doesn't always stay, especially when you're sensing that transformation, because a part of you wants to keep yourself safe. Perfectly natural, perfectly human, especially for a lot of what you guys have been through in your past experiences. So, when the calmness comes in, but it doesn't always stay. And when you go through these big transformations and you've gone through them, the ups and downs can come in, because even though you're trying to protect yourself and all of that's perfectly reasonable, it shuts you down a little bit to the access that you have to the universe. But this is completely the opposite here. The strength that you have and the energy that you have around you is just, this calm is here. And you're not even second guessing it. It's staying here. And it's sort of integrating into every level of your life. And you're realizing that things could be easy. Things could be easier for you. Things are, instead of like pushing at things and seeing if a door is going to open, it's almost like everything's just there for you. And you can sense it. And you're getting excited about it, but you're not trying to figure out or control how it's coming in. It's almost like, somebody's given you a book and they've said to you, we're going to let you read the entire, you can read the entire book and know what happens at the end before everybody else. And it feels as though, you've done that, but you don't feel as though you've spoiled the ending for yourself. You really know how all of this is sort of going to go, or how it's going to end, but you've only skimmed the book. So you don't know absolutely all of the details, and you're fine with that. It's like a lot of you have maybe had some sort of visions recently, or even this sort of understanding of what you're going to achieve, and you've already seen it. And it's fine. It's perfect. You're going to get there. You're not worried about it. You don't have to sort of overdo this aspect of trying to figure out how it's all going to fall into place, because you've already seen it. And you're trusting it now. You're using the strength that you have to trust. And this has been a long time coming, in one way, shape, or form. So this is something that you can really enjoy. For those of you who are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I left it this long, and I'm a late bloomer, this, that, and the other. I mean, you are exactly where you need to be. And if you feel as though you're a late bloomer, it just means that you're going to take off quicker. That's all it is. But if you had taken off before, you would have been riddled with anxiety or this, that, and the other. You wouldn't have been quite where you needed to be to enjoy all of this that's coming in for you. You would have been waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're not going to be doing that anymore. You're going to enjoy every moment of it. And that's what the universe wanted for you. And now you're absolutely ready to enjoy every moment of it. Yeah, you have the 9 of Swords there from before, and you have the Devil. So really coming out of these old ways of thinking. And not only that, but outgrowing some actual physical energy, darkness that was in and around you. Not to freak you out in any way, shape, or form. It could have been an old situation, co-workers even. It could have been like dark energy that you were in and around that you kind of moved through recently. Maybe you've left there. Maybe you said, I'm not going to put up with this kind of energy anymore. Whatever it is, for each and every one of you, of course, as a general reading, it will be different. But it'll all have the same kind of energy. It was darkness energy. It was, not necessarily people being around addictions, but like people being around the sort of the same looping of the same energy of not wanting to get out and see things a little bit like wider or clearer, just being very stuck where they are. And just being in and around that energy. You've shed that energy. You said, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't want to be around it anymore. And some of you have taken that extra step of saying, I'm done with this. And sometimes when we say to the universe, and we're absolutely done, I'm done, the universe shifts that situation, that person, that energy out of our lives in ways that we could not have realized. Sometimes it's not about just walking in and saying, I'm giving in my resignation, do that if you need to. Whatever you need to do, it needs to be your own personal, private way of dealing with things. But sometimes when we just exclaim, we're done, and our energy really sets that on fire, that intention on fire, the universe will take over. So however you did this, you said, I'm done with this energy. I'm done with this level of energy that I was taking in. I'm not going to do this anymore. It doesn't work for me anymore. Now, some of you have a really hard time with that because you think, oh, who am I to say that? That I don't want this energy. You're not suggesting that people are lower than you or higher than you. That's not what it is. It's okay for you to say, this energy is dark. I don't want to deal with it. My energy isn't here anymore. It's okay to say that. And it's okay to put your energy first. And this is something that you've done, whether you've declared it or whether you've declared it to yourself, to the universe, or you've gone in and you've made your own arrangements to get out of that. But whatever you did, you cut those ties and you had to do those. So it's moved you forward in this new way. Absolutely. Oh, this is gorgeous. Moved you forward in this new way. Now, the way in which you've done that, this was all done sort of in the interior too, bringing in all this sort of information and saying, I don't want to deal with all of this. I feel as though I'm sort of drowning a little bit from the inside out. I'm absolutely done with this. So solidifying that energy and cutting those cords moved you forward and really integrated your version of the truth and your version of the truth, which sort of creates all truth. And also allowed for this beautiful healing that you have in common with Pile 2, the sort of beautiful healing that brought you to the shift. And the shift actually is going to be recognized without a shadow of a doubt on, at the external also. Everything that you've done, all the work on the internal. You may not have, done the work thinking on the internal that it's going to show up in the external like it will. You didn't have this intention. If I do it this way or if I see things this way, then it's going to work like this and I'm going to get a new job, I'm going to do this. Some of you may have, but most of you didn't. You just did the work and you said, I needed to do this because I'm done. I'm done and I can't live this way, and I'm done and I don't want to live this way anymore. I want to really respect my own energy. And that movement forward and that articulation of that is going to shift on the exterior. So whatever will be offered to you, whatever hand will be offered to you, new job, new situation, for some of you, new love, absolutely is going to come in. And also we have this with the male and female, this real introduction of the solidifying between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which is not necessarily 50-50 for you. There could be more dominant divine masculine, which is absolutely wonderful, but having that receptivity of the divine feminine, that real allowing of that balance to come in. So you can see at any time what situation needs what. All right, as I step into the situation, somebody needs my help here. Divine feminine's coming in for this. I'm going to go all out in the divine feminine to help this person. And then the next situation might be like, all right, this is it. This is divine masculine. This calls for a certain amount of action and articulation and pinpointing what needs to be done. So I'm going to use my divine masculine in this situation. So this is all solidifying for you, knowing the right solution to every single problem where people come in. And for some of you, you might be counselors. You might be moving into this not sorting out other people's problems, but being there for people and being able to shift what it is that they need based on the energy that you can feel from them. And now you can do this as a teacher, as a counselor, you know, as an artist at any time, whether you're going into something like this or whether you are just shifting what you do and make it more pronounced to allow for this energy. But that's what you do. You really sense what people need in the moment, and then you allow that to come out of you to sort of really help and support that person. So this is energy that you'll be taking into the future. Whatever it is that you'll be doing on a specific, to be very specific, this is the energy that will be in and around it. So these huge transformations are leading to something like a new job opportunity, a new person coming into your life. It could be everything happening at once. That often happens. You get a new job, somebody cool comes into your life, you know, you get the chance to move into a great, you know, apartment, whatever, or buy a new house, whatever it is, it's all coming in for you probably at the same time. But you won't be overwhelmed because you've got your 2 feet on the ground and you've solidified and made that firm foundation of your own energy. Let's get you one more card here. This is very exciting for you too. And again, long time coming. So yeah, Queen of Cups, absolutely beautiful. That gorgeous emotionality that you have to be really clicking into other people's hearts and minds and what it is that they truly need, to be able to be there for them. Now, you don't just listen. Listening is absolutely gorgeous. Most people don't listen to each other. So you're an incredible listener, and that in itself actually can be very healing. But there's more than that. You don't just listen to people. You take in that energy that they're telling you, and you're already alchemizing that energy for an essence of healing, and people can feel that too. So bringing in all of this energy, cutting off that energy that no longer worked, and you tried it that way, and that's great. It might work for some people, but it didn't for you. So really solidifying your own energy, putting your own energy first, and coming into this divine timing of it's time to shine. Remember, for all you late bloomers out there, it really doesn't, because you can get to the top of the mountain real quick. You're not starting from the bottom here, from the bottom up. So you don't need to worry about how timing is working for you. Don't get caught up in that. That's going to take you out of this beautiful energy. And remember, just hold that energy of joy. Just hold that energy of beauty, like we said in Pile 2 also, because something from the external is coming in, which means that you have a ton of beautiful guides and gorgeous goddesses working with you as you move into this new phase of your life. Or maybe you're already there and you can already sense it, but it's coming in for you. Exciting time. So that's what we have for you, Pile 3, sending you so much love and support for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Go be you. Thank you for visiting Unicorn Light Tarot today. Until we meet again, take care. Bye-bye.